Every morning is a silent invitation for a woman to rise into her strength, her grace, and her purpose. A successful woman doesn't begin her day by rushing into the world. She begins by connecting with the world inside her. She understands that mornings are not just routines, they are rituals. They are where her confidence is built, her clarity is shaped, and her inner power is awakened. A queen never leaves her throne without first adjusting her crown, and a woman who wants to win her day must adjust her mindset before anything else. Because how she starts her morning determines how she carries herself through challenges, responsibilities, and expectations. When a woman sets her intentions early, she becomes unstoppable, not because the world becomes easier, but because she becomes stronger from within. Honor your inner space before you enter the outer world. Every successful woman understands that before she gives even a minute to the world, she must give a moment to herself. The world will always come with expectations, responsibilities, and demands. But your inner space is where your strength is restored, where your clarity is built, and where your confidence quietly grows. When you wake up, your mind is like a blank page. Whatever you allow into it first will shape the tone of your day. If you begin with noise, you carry noise. If you begin with chaos, you carry chaos. But if you begin with calmness, gratitude, and reflection, you carry a sense of grounded elegance that no challenge can easily shake. This is why honoring your inner space is not selfish, it is essential. When a woman wakes up and immediately dives into messages, notifications, stress, or worries, she hands over her peace before she has even claimed it. But when she sits with herself, even for a few minutes, she takes her power back. She reminds herself that her worth is not defined by rush, that her identity is not dependent on productivity, and that her peace is not something she must earn. It is something she must protect. In those quiet morning minutes, she learns to breathe, to center herself, and to realign her thoughts. A successful woman knows that her outer life becomes chaotic only when her inner life is neglected. But when her inner life is cared for, everything outside starts falling into place, not because the world changes, but because she enters the world differently. Honoring your inner space means acknowledging your emotions without judging them. Some mornings you wake up with energy, excitement, and purpose. Other mornings you may wake up with heaviness, confusion, or emotional fatigue. A queen does not ignore these feelings, she listens to them gently. She sits with herself and asks, what is my mind trying to tell me today? What is my heart craving? What do I need to let go of? This honesty creates emotional strength. It helps you understand your triggers, your patterns, and your needs. When you start your day with emotional awareness, you move through the world with grace instead of reaction. You speak more thoughtfully, respond more calmly, and make decisions from clarity instead of impulse. Honoring your inner space means creating a morning that aligns with your values. It could be silence, prayer, journaling, gratitude, or intentional breathing. It could be standing near a window and letting the early light touch your face. It could be placing a hand on your heart and reminding yourself that you deserve peace, focus, and dignity. Successful women understand that consistency in small rituals builds stability in life. These rituals are like the foundations of a palace, unseen by the world, but essential for its strength. When your morning is built on inner grounding, your day becomes built on confidence. A queen never rushes into the world without checking her crown. And your crown is your mindset. Your morning inner space is where you adjust that crown. You reinforce your self-respect. You remind yourself of your goals. You reconnect with your vision. You let go of what no longer serves you. These moments shape how you walk, speak, decide, and show up. A woman who begins her day consciously carries a different energy, an energy of calm strength, quiet confidence, and effortless grace. People feel it in her presence. They notice it in her tone. They sense it in her decisions. Because she did not enter the world empty, she entered it filled from within. Honoring your inner space also means choosing what you do not allow into your morning. Not every message deserves your attention. Not every notification deserves your presence. Not every thought deserves your energy. You become selective about the energy you let in because you understand that the first hour of your day is the garden where your thoughts grow. If you plant fear, you carry fear. If you plant frustration, you carry frustration. But if you plant gratitude, stability, and purpose, you carry a sense of inner royalty throughout your day. A successful woman is not successful because she avoids problems. She is successful because she refuses to let the world shake her before she has grounded herself. Your inner space is also where you reconnect with your deeper identity. The world sees your roles: mother, daughter, student, professional, entrepreneur, partner. But your inner space sees the real you, the woman beneath all the roles, the one who dreams, feels, hopes, and grows. When you give yourself quiet space in the morning, you return to that authentic self. You remind yourself that you are not just here to fulfill responsibilities. You are here to evolve, to shine, to contribute, and to live with meaning. This deeper connection fuels your strength in ways external validation never can. When a woman honors her inner space, she becomes emotionally lighter. She doesn't carry yesterday's weight into today's opportunities. She doesn't bring old frustrations into new conversations. She doesn't allow tiny irritations to disturb her inner stability. She becomes someone who moves with intention instead of hurry, with clarity instead of confusion, with grace instead of reactivity. This inner stability reflects in her decisions. It reflects in her discipline. It reflects in her communication. It reflects in her aura. Honoring your inner space is the quiet act of placing yourself on your own priority list. It is the gentle reminder that you deserve a peaceful start. It is the practice of giving yourself what you hope the world will give you: respect, patience, clarity, and care. A woman who starts her morning like a queen doesn't wait for the world to treat her with dignity. She treats herself with dignity first. And that sets the tone for everything that follows. Setting one intention every morning is one of the most powerful practices a successful woman lives by. It is not about planning the entire day in detail or expecting perfection from yourself. It is about choosing one guiding direction that influences how you think, act, and respond. When a woman wakes up and chooses her intention, she is not trying to control the world. She is simply choosing how she wants to show up in the world. That intention becomes her inner compass. It keeps her aligned when distractions arise. It keeps her calm when challenges appear. And it keeps her connected to her deeper purpose when the day becomes busy. A queen does not step out of her palace without knowing how she wishes to rule her own mind first. That is what intention does. It sets the tone of your inner kingdom. Many people rush into their mornings trying to do everything at once. But a successful woman understands that clarity is more powerful than speed. When she chooses one intention, she removes confusion. She removes emotional clutter. She removes unnecessary pressure. She no longer tries to be everywhere emotionally. She no longer tries to fulfill every expectation. She focuses on the one thing that matters most for that day. This gives her energy direction. Direction creates progress, and progress creates confidence. A woman who begins her day with intention does not act out of impulse. She acts from alignment. Your intention can be anything your heart needs at that moment. It could be patience, strength, presence, gratitude, discipline, courage, or kindness. It could be something simple, like today I choose to slow down, or today I will focus on one task at a time, or today I will protect my peace, or today I will speak with kindness. What matters is not how big the intention is. What matters is how true it feels to your inner state. When your intention matches your inner truth, your entire day flows differently. Your words become softer, your decisions become wiser, and your reactions become more thoughtful. Setting an intention is like drawing a soft line through your day. Everything you think or do aligns with that line. Without an intention, your mind can easily be pulled in many directions. You might begin your day feeling one way and end it feeling lost, drained, or overwhelmed without knowing what went wrong. Intention is the invisible thread that ties your morning to your evening. It helps you understand your emotional journey. It helps you recognize when you are aligned and when you are drifting. And when you drift, it gently guides you back. A successful woman does not wait for external conditions to dictate her emotional state. She does not depend on someone else's behavior to determine whether she will have a good day. She chooses her state from within. This is the essence of intention. It is an inner promise, a promise to yourself that no matter what the world brings, you will respond from your chosen mindset. This inner promise gives you stability. It helps you remain centered even when unexpected things happen. Challenges still come, but they don't shake you as easily. Stress still appears, but it doesn't control you. You develop emotional boundaries without ever having to speak them out loud. When you set one intention every morning, your brain begins to filter your experiences differently. The mind is always scanning for what you focus on. If your intention is patience, you will notice moments where patience is needed and remind yourself to breathe before reacting. If your intention is confidence, you will catch yourself straightening your posture, speaking a little stronger, and making decisions a little quicker. If your intention is gratitude, even small moments begin to feel meaningful. You notice the sunlight through the window, the warmth of tea in your hands, the kindness in someone's words. Intention shapes perception. Perception shapes reality. Setting an intention also helps you stay true to who you want to become. Often we know the woman we want to be, someone more disciplined, more peaceful, more focused, more loving, but the gap between knowing and becoming can feel large. Intention is the bridge. When you choose your intention in the morning, you take a conscious step toward that version of yourself. You remind your mind who you are growing into. You realign your thoughts with your identity. You walk into the day not as your old patterns, but as the woman you are becoming. There is a quiet dignity in living your day with intention. It brings elegance to your presence because your actions are no longer random. They reflect awareness, they reflect self-respect, they reflect emotional maturity. People may not know the intention you chose, but they will feel the difference. They will notice your calmness, your clarity, your confidence. They will see that you are not easily shaken. They will sense that you carry an inner stability that does not depend on circumstances. Intention also helps you avoid unnecessary conflicts. When your mind knows what it is focused on, it becomes harder to be pulled into negativity. You stop reacting to every small irritation. You stop absorbing the moods of others. You stop letting someone's words disrupt your peace. Instead, your chosen intention serves as a shield. It reminds you that your emotional world belongs to you. A successful woman protects her emotional world because she understands that energy is her greatest asset. Another powerful aspect of intention is that it simplifies your day. Instead of trying to juggle multiple goals or overwhelming expectations, you choose what matters most. If your intention is to be productive, you naturally focus more. If your intention is to be compassionate, your interactions soften. If your intention is to be disciplined, your distractions lose power. Intention removes mental noise. It clears the pathway for meaningful action, not scattered activity. Many women underestimate how much strength lies in a single intention. But every meaningful transformation begins with a simple choice repeated consistently. When you choose your intention day after day, it becomes part of your mindset. When it becomes part of your mindset, it becomes part of your character. And when it becomes part of your character, your life begins to shift without force. Setting an intention is not a ritual of control, it is a ritual of alignment. You are not trying to control what happens, you are deciding how you will move through whatever happens. You are choosing who you will be regardless of circumstances. You are choosing your inner posture. You are choosing your emotional stance. You are choosing your energy. This is the quiet power of a successful woman. The ability to govern her inner world before stepping into the outer one. Every morning, when you take a moment to set your intention, you are not just preparing for the day. You are training your mind, shaping your identity, strengthening your spirit, and reminding yourself of the queen within you. A queen does not begin her day accidentally. She begins it consciously, gracefully, and intentionally. Protect your emotional energy by choosing what deserves your attention and what deserves your silence. When you wake up in the morning, your mind is like a clean canvas. Whatever you allow onto that canvas becomes the mood you carry, the decisions you make, and the strength you feel. A successful woman understands this very deeply. She knows that not every thought deserves space, not every person deserves access, and not every situation deserves a reaction. She knows that her energy is a precious currency, and once she spends it on the wrong things, she cannot get it back. So the first thing she does every morning is filter. She asks herself, what will make me grow and what will drain me? What will elevate me and what will distract me? What will strengthen me and what will steal my peace? This simple inner questioning becomes her emotional protection. It prevents her from being pulled into unnecessary arguments, unnecessary comparisons, and unnecessary drama. She chooses silence, where her peace is more valuable than proving a point. She chooses to walk away when winning the moment would cost her the calmness of her mind. She chooses not to respond when response only invites more chaos. There is a strength in silence that many people never learn. Silence is not weakness. Silence is wisdom. Silence is discipline. Silence is a sign that you are not controlled by the behavior of others. And a woman who wants to grow, who wants to rise, who wants to lead her life like a queen, must understand that her emotional energy is what shapes the quality of her day. When she wakes up and immediately checks messages, arguments, notifications, or people's opinions, she gives the world the steering wheel of her emotions. But when she wakes up and protects her mind from the noise, she becomes the driver of her own day. She understands that she cannot control how people behave, but she can control what she gives her reaction to. She cannot control what life throws at her, but she can control where she places her attention. She cannot stop negativity from existing, but she can stop it from entering her inner world. And once she learns this, her mornings become lighter. Her heart becomes calmer, her mind becomes clearer. The world begins to feel less heavy and far more manageable. She also understands something very powerful: not everything that disturbs you deserves to stay with you. Some things are meant to pass through your life gently, without being held, without being analyzed, without being kept. But many people make the mistake of grabbing every small irritation, every small comment, every small disappointment, and carrying it for hours. A successful woman refuses to do that. She doesn't let small things take away her big goals. She doesn't let temporary emotions destroy permanent peace. She knows that her morning energy shapes her entire day, so she guards it like a queen guards her kingdom. She chooses what to respond to carefully. She chooses what to ignore respectfully. She chooses what to walk away from quietly. She chooses her peace over her pride. She chooses her growth over being right. She chooses her future over holding on to something that is already in the past.